Hey, it's the beer video. And apparently YouTube has removed sexual identity from their is that what it is? Gender identity from their policy of people that can't be harassed on their platform, and they're saying like, "Oh, it was a little editorial thing and it wasn't, fuck off." Just we all know what you're doing.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, we're watching like, you know, corporations and bullshit everywhere kowtow to this orange overstuffed motherfucker who, we all know what he's doing, and I don't really have to rehash history for anybody, but um, I don't know, guys, just maybe quit being pussies. Just an idea.
Yeah, the most disturbing thing for me is all the higher ed institutions that are doing this.
That too. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, I know that they're afraid of losing their like they're afraid of losing money. I mean, they're getting rid of the Department of fucking Education, so I don't know. And I realize that the federal government doesn't fund 100% of education. I'm aware of that. I know it's only a sliver, but what do you? I don't even know what you're worried about. Like, really? Maybe just don't be shitty people, and you know, probably not going to get your money anyway. Whoa. I didn't mean to start this on a sour note, Helen. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they are. It's kind of hard not to, right?
Yeah, I know. It's really hard to have any conversation without it going sour, but I do want to talk about something though, because you're more of an expert on this than I am. And this subject matter came up over the weekend, and I said I need to get with Helen on this. Helen, talk to me about Powerwolf.
Oh, so I don't know anything about them like personally, so if they're
Sure,
checked, I'm
that's
sorry.
fine.
I don't know. I've been kind of following them off and on ever since like I saw them at Wacken Open Air in 2013, which I thought was particularly impressive because they had on like their full like leather gear and
Yeah.
shit. And they were playing at 2 in the afternoon during like a record heat wave in northern Germany. Like I was in shorts and like a crop top and I was fucking dying. So like
God.
these guys wearing like robes and leather pants. Jesus Christ, I am shocked none of them like passed out. But I don't know, they're fun. Like they're a bit much, but if you like super goofy theatrical power metal, I think like I don't know, they're a good time.
I think that I think people should probably know going into it that if you're going to be investigating Powerwolf, meaning like trying to get into them, the whole idea that they're a bit much, I think, is at least the selling point to me.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm looking them up. You know where I'm looking them up just to make sure that,
Um he used to do like I don't know if he was like an actual opera singer, but I think he did like light opera, like he's a classically trained singer in any case. So
yeah.
because he's theatrical, like even for a power metal singer. So I, I've mentioned this before, obviously on this channel, but like, yeah, I really love bands that can fully commit to the bit, with
Yeah.
like and do like really corny stuff, like very sincerely.
Yeah. Which is great. I mean, death metal is like early death metal, like it's kind of the same way. Like that stuff's, I love it, but somebody that's coming into it that can't understand the genre or doesn't take it seriously, I could see people having the same, um, like the same reaction to imagine plopping somebody down in front of Skin Her Alive and see what the reaction would be. Probably similar to, you know, maybe not the same as like how people would react to Powerwolf because Powerwolf's a little sillier. But and by the way, my check where I checked to see if Powerwolf was if anybody was shitty doesn't appear that way. It's the verdict appears to be safe but cringy just because of the music.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Embrace cringe.
yeah,
Like anyone who doesn't embrace cringe is a fucking coward.
Oh yeah, and it goes back to a thing I've said a million times, and it always comes up whenever Ghost comes up, is that, you're allowed to have fun. You're allowed to listen to heavy metal and have fun. It's okay. Like, there is a lot of serious metal. There's a lot of stuff that covers things that aren't fun topics, but at the end of the day, it's okay. Like when people went to see the fucking Scorpions, in the heyday, Iron Maiden, bands like that. The bands are having fun. The people are having fun. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
And like people that bring up like, oh, well, the OG black metal musicians insisted everything has to be serious. It's like, how old were they? They were all like 16 when they said that.
Yeah.
And if you look at, for example, Fenriz now, like,
Right.
and I love his radio show. I need to resubscribe to his Patreon, I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
like, he loves like goofy ass like power metal and trad metal and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
know, a lot of those guys, the ones that didn't become, kind of creepy YouTubers subsisting on the French welfare state as they make videos about how social safety nets are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I put as much credence in the second wave creators as I do the founding fathers. It's like, you know, you came up with a good idea, but I'm not taking anything you say seriously.
well, I mean, the thing is like, yeah, the second wave, it's literal teenagers,
Yeah.
like, which makes it all the more impressive that I think they made such like incredible music so young, but
Yeah.
like, so that definitely means I'm not taking anything they seriously. And
No.
like Arg, who hasn't made like a decent record in God knows how long, and
Oh
like
yeah. And I mean the
he's just
last
he's a fucking bitter ass old man, like living on a farm in France and like ranting into his phone camera in his truck. Like, and pretty much everyone else has gone on to like kind of create like more interesting work.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean, like, you do you choose which way, Western man, YouTube crank or interesting musician?
yeah, yeah.
That like kind of growing out of being a bitter ass little teenager really like leads you down the more rewarding path.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense to me. So we should
Yeah,
just all, yeah, so all the art we make from that point forward should adhere to what these shitty idiots said when they were 17. Great idea.
yeah, and like, okay, yeah, some Burzum albums are good, but I feel like society has evolved past the need for Burzum.
Without question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna like fucking rag on anyone for like listening to Burzum or whatever. Like, look, you've seen my Yukio Mishima shirt, right? Like, I like plenty of artists who had some like pretty questionable politics, though granted, all of them are dead. Um, and Varg isn't yet.
Well, at least not bodily.
Yeah, well, like God willing soon. But yeah, I don't know. I just
Yeah.
I don't okay. I understand listening to his music and enjoying it. That's fine. It's pretty good, or some of it is, I guess. Um, I don't understand people who feel compelled to take this man seriously. Like,
Oh, agreed. Yeah. I don't like personally don't listen to Burzum. I don't own any I don't own any Burzum music, but yeah, I whatever,
yeah,
whatever.
I guess my line is a bit past a lot of people maybe that we know where like I don't listen to like full on like Nazis, but I will still listen to bands that maybe have said some dopey shit in interviews.
Yeah. Like
Like which one?
Taka.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that one is a bit of it's a unique one for me because like, like I have mutual friends with that guy and like so, having that personal connection means like, yeah, I do you believe him when he says like I'm not a Nazi, that was a stupid stunt? And like
Right.
I line on it is the same as I think it was one of the dudes from Enslaved was like, yeah, we know it was a stupid stunt. We know you're not like that, but you understand that was a really stupid stunt, and you really can't blame people for thinking you're a Nazi after
Yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. Because most people I would think aren't going to follow that whole path to, they're just going to see the act and then
Yeah, it's
make their
like,
decision. And I don't blame them either.
yeah, it's like I know that dude was doing a bit because I've got a friend that works for his record label, and he's like, yeah, I personally know him, and like he has gotten in like physical fights with neo-Nazis, like in Norway. They do not like him. He's not one of them.
Yeah, yeah,
But like, yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
He seems like, a guy who has done some pretty dumb shit.
yeah, yeah,
And like, I think, that is a legit reason to not check out his work.
yeah. Well, speaking of dumb shit, I bought a beer, and you did go first last time,
Yeah,
so
I remember it actually.
I got a pretty interesting one, that's seasonal, and I am looking forward to your opinion, A, on the beer, and B, on my pronunciation of the thing I'm about to say. So it's
Fucking
from,
go.
what's that?
Let's fucking go.
All right. So it's from Penn Brewery, which is one of Pittsburgh's older independent breweries. Like they've been around for a while. I don't think I've ever done a Penn Brewery beer on the beer video. I don't think. Anyway, it's a Pittsburgh cream ale uh in a collaboration with Oakmont Bakery. I think I don't know if this is the all right, I don't know what just happened. Obviously there's two parts to this video because my computer just died. It just like went to sleep. It's fully charged. It's fucking plugged in, by the way. I think it's trying to tell me it doesn't want to be around. It doesn't want to be around anymore. So I don't know how far I got with beer. I don't know. What's that?
Um, you froze for a minute and it was on the funniest face, I think.
Yeah, mine. Oh, God. Anyway, I don't know how far I got with introducing the beer. Anyways, from Penn Brewery, Pittsburgh Cream Ale, and I think this is the name of the beer. And this is where I'm really curious to see what you're going to think of my pronunciation. Punchki.
Uh, Oxy.
So locally, all the old Polish grandmothers around here pronounce it Punchki.
Punchki.
Yeah. So are you familiar with what that is?
Yes, they're jelly donuts, right?
They
Basically.
can have jelly, they can have cream. I love them. They
Place like
are
I got my bratwurst from actually on Friday. They make those like during Easter, I think. It's
during Easter. Yeah. Yeah. So they're
yeah,
just like hitting stores now. And I'm going to drink out of a Winchester Tavern glass. Yeah. Hopefully we can get through this without
just hope all this blows over.
all this. Yeah, that's right. So it is nice and I'm curious where the punchki taste is going to come from. Oh, what is the ABV is 6.32 and 11 IBUs. So we actually got an IBU count. So that's what it looks like. Not a big surprise. It's a cream ale. Smells like a cream ale. Oh, okay. So this definitely is a different tasting cream ale. Um, it has so maybe this is the first the first thing that went through my head was custard. It has a little bit of a custard taste to it.
Well,
So I don't know if I'm just tasting the pastry of the donut or if it truly was, because I know they do make custard punchki. Yeah, so you take your normal cream ale and you add a little bit of like a sugary sweetness to it, again like a custard flavor, and it's subtle, like it's not an overpowering sweet beer, but there's definitely an extra creaminess to it beyond what you would get from a cream ale. Um, this is a really interesting tasting beer. I was really curious as to how they were going to make. the pastry part of the donut work with the beer. And it works shockingly well. This is they've done a few of these collaborations with Oakmont Bakery. Um I think it's the best one I've had so far. This is the most worth my while of all these that I've had so far. Um where there is a true benefit to like having the the baked good, and not just that, but kind of like making it work in a completely different way than I would expect this to work, with your just an average cream ale. So yeah, this is really nice. I don't know how available this is to people. I think this is just exclusively Pittsburgh, but if you're in the vicinity, yeah, check this out. This is pretty good. I'm pleasingly surprised.
Cool. Yeah. I also have a dessert beer, so that's exciting.
Look at that. Wow.
Ah. That's a dessert I've considered checking out. Maybe next time I go to Kramarchik's, I'll pick some up.
Well, the other thing too is I love like I love custard like the frozen custard, but like I love a custard donut. Like if you're gonna line up a bunch of donuts and have me pick one of which one, I'm going for the custard donut every time.
I'm realizing there's a really good donut shop like one neighborhood over, and I haven't been there in too long. They have a brown butter glazed donut. Incredible.
Wow. Yeah, I would fuck with that for sure. For sure.
Yeah, they make a sandwich actually, like a donut sandwich with soft serve in the summers, and it's just starting to get warm enough that that's going to be a possibility again soon. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I will
excited.
live vicariously through you.
Yay.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about your shirt?
Oh yeah. Okay. So this is uh if you ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, this is Frank Reynolds' art dealer character, Ongo Gablogian, in corpse paint in a black metal font.
It's so good. Yeah, Helen shared this shirt with me earlier, so I knew it was coming, and I'm glad I knew it was coming, but it's tremendous. Where did you find that?
It's a local-ish store called Anxious and Angry. They also made the hat I've worn sometimes, I think maybe once on the video, which says jet fuel can't melt steel beams or this big old dick.
Yeah, I remember that too. God damn it. Oh, I love that. I decided to wear kind of a non-metal metal shirt as well. It's a Minoru Suzuki long sleeve that's supposed to look like a Slayer shirt. Um, so it's from Grudge Match brand. And I don't know that Grudge Match, I think they went out of business because they were just doing maybe they didn't. Maybe they're just like getting rid of some stock, but I just bought this long sleeve for a deep discount and it's one of my favorite shirts. So yeah, the non-metal metal shirt.
Cool. Yeah. We all love wrestling.
We do. There's an AEW pay-per-view tonight, but I'm not watching it because tonight's the finale of the White Lotus, and I have to mentally prepare myself for what I think's going to happen, and that is I think Chelsea's going to die.
Yeah. Which one is Chelsea?
She is Amy Lou Wood. She's the one that's Rick. She's with Rick. Rick's the one that went to Singapore.
Well, too bad. She seems nice. Don't tell me anymore. We're only like two episodes in.
Oh, it's not that's not a spoiler at all. I mean, you know from the first episode that there's going to be a death at the end of the season or the end of the season. So, nothing spoilery at all.
Okay, so mine is from Yoho Brewing, which is a Japanese brewery. I kind of was poking around the import section of the liquor store, and it is called Sorry, and it is a Sakura Mochi Stout. Mochi, if you have not had it, is a dessert, a Japanese dessert, which is like kind of a rice flour dough over some kind of filling.
Yeah.
Um, and you can pretty much put whatever in there. Uh, Sakura, however, is cherry blossom. I'm usually a little ambivalent about floral flavors and things. soon. So this is going to be interesting. So I picked it up honestly because the can art, it's so good.
It's
Look at that.
incredible. Yeah, it's pretty fucking good.
And it looks like what it's depicting there is
Yeah, there it is.
for a flavored dough around like a red bean paste innard. So
I would say if there was such thing as a Dan Flash's can, that would be it.
the patterns are so complicated. God, I think you should leave.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm pouring this into one of our trucker glasses. Your trucker slang of this video is 10-10 on the side. Okay, fits in there perfectly.
I don't know what 10-10 means.
Means on the side, apparently.
Oh, yeah,
What I learned from this glass.
interesting.
Hmm. Okay, smells like a typical stout with cherry blossom. Oh, I like this. It's really interesting. So it's got the sweetness you'd expect from a pastry or dessert stout, and then this kind of deep umami flavor, which I'm not just using Japanese term. This is Japanese beer. Yeah, it's got this nice savoriness to it, like quite complex. It tastes like a red bean paste, which
Huh.
I, yeah, it's a common ingredient in Asian desserts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, my main problem with pastry stouts is they tend to be a little too cloying, which I've mentioned before, but
Yeah.
like this one has like kind of a roasty savoriness to it that prevents it from doing that. Um, Definitely quite unique. I would say if you like Asian desserts, check this one out. It's really good. I'm saving this can for my weeb friend who does not drink any beers.
Nice. What's the ABV?
6%, I think. Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. So you can hit that and not and be able to function whenever you're done, as opposed to some stouts where you can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Pastry stouts tend to be like kind of a blackout strength, I've noticed.
Yeah.
This is a much more reasonable one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is tasty. I am glad I just got the one. As with most pastry stouts, I feel like one and done is kind of the way to go with this. Like,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of very, very bold flavors. And I feel like if I was to follow this up, it would be with something like, I don't know, like a 4% cream ale or something. Like it's a lot, even if it's not a particularly strong beer.
We've made the perfect combination then. My cream ale with your oh, you know what? I didn't even read the description here. Um, yeah, they just threw those punch keys right the fuck in. Yeah, so they didn't really specify which ones they used. They just said that they popped some in. So anyway, should have read the can earlier, but I was thrown off by my laptop dying suddenly, right in the middle of a beer video. So this is part two. So
I
if you didn't see part one,
think I was saying something mildly cancelable, so like committed suicide.
yeah, yeah. Even though we're not recording this on YouTube, they heard me be upset about them removing gender identity from their protected classes. So
For the record, since I hinted at it, I may as well put cards on the table. What I actually said was I think Post from Toka is probably like kind of a dope, but according to people I know who know the guy, not a Nazi. So
Yeah, as opposed to like a Phil Anselmo, who, yes, also Sig Heiled at a show, but also from anything you read about the guy, this is not a surprise. So,
something I don't bring up a lot because like when people are like, "Oh, I don't listen to that band because dude's a Nazi," when like doing like a well actually where I'm like, "Well, you see, he's not a Nazi, he's just kind of a huge fucking moron," feels a bit like splitting hairs.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, I don't know. Basically, if you've Sig Heiled and I know about it, I generally don't want your music in my house. It's just me. Um, Other
Yeah,
people feel differently.
a bit to be shocking. Like that's a stupid bit, man. What are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
oh, I mean, granted, I think this was years and years ago, but like, especially now, it's like there's actually an emboldened far right, like kind of out and around. Like,
yeah,
I want to be down with those people even for fun. Like,
yeah. And I mean that
go on.
I'll say something relatively maybe controversial, but probably not. I don't know. But like even like the Elon Musk Sig Heils, like do I think that dude is into Nazi ideology? Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Um, but
is.
but I think his two Sig Heils was to upset the left. That's why I think he did it. And he knew what I think he knew what he was doing. But I also think that those Sig Heils weren't meaningless also.
Yeah, it's again, like it kind of feels like splitting hairs. Like, yeah, he probably did it to make people mad, but like also like he's literally been at an alternative for Deutschland rally. Like,
Yep. Yep. That's what I mean. Yeah, he believes it. I think he's definitely into Nazi ideology, but I don't know that the intent in that moment was for that. I think it was just, yeah, to piss people off. And nice going, buddy. Um, Enjoy your stock plunge, idiot. So, turns out you fucked yourself.
yeah, he's like a really good anti-ketamine PSA, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, he's also a good example of why it's a controlled substance that you take, you know,
I mean, it's
in a,
great.
in a controlled environment and not just at will.
So how about that Wisconsin election, huh?
Yeah, nice going. I love the next day where he's like, "Well, I expected to lose." Oh, so you
I
put $25 million into something you thought you were going to lose?
no, you didn't. God, it's so deeply pathetic. And like, okay, I'm sorry. I was going to say something that was going to violate YouTube's terms of service.
Fuck them. They're gonna. There's no rules. We're in the Wild West. Just whatever.
Yeah, the kind of the running joke I saw, well, at least between me and my friends, was like, what is the funniest way you could Bud Dwyer himself after this?
Probably the way Bud Dwyer did.
Oh, dude, like apparently. So I made a Bud Dwyer joke to my friend, and like he had somehow reached the age of like 44 without knowing who Bud Dwyer was. So he had to Google that, and that was my fault.
Did he never hear the song "Hey Man, Nice Shot"?
He thought it was about Kurt Cobain, I think.
Well, nope. No, it wasn't. I saw that happen on television when I was a child because he was from Pennsylvania. Like that happened around here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was on TV. Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah, yep. You can easily, I'm not encouraging anybody to do this, but I know there's people that like to look that stuff up. You can find the footage very easily. It is not hard to find.
When I was a little teenager and looked up stuff like that, like yeah, I definitely saw like the climactic moment, you could say. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, his whole thing was like, yeah, he was going to prison for a long time. What was it for embezzlement or something like that? I can't remember. But he was going to prison for a long time, and so he held a press conference and and shot himself right in the fucking head. Yeah. Crazy, crazy, crazy times.
The joke I heard about that was, oh, look at it. Look at this Big D, Bud Dwyer. Looks like he's brought a sack lunch. That's smart.
Yeah. 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 You know, well, there was a point I was going to make about this, and I fucking don't remember what it was. Something about Oh, no, it wasn't that. We were out yesterday and I got stuck behind a guy driving a Tesla and I saw this sticker on his bumper and I was like, "Oh, fuck, what is this?" So he got stopped at a red light and I was pulling up behind him. And so I got to read the sticker and it said, "Even my dog hates Elon." So I was like, "Oh shit, this is a dude that bought a Tesla whenever it wasn't embarrassing to do so."
Oh yeah. My antitrust lawyer friend and I, we were at the sauna as you do.
Sure.
Uh, yeah, we saw a Tesla outside there, and I had myself a little giggle. And he's like, "Oh, look at that! I mean, it's an early model Tesla. He probably bought it before like Elon went fully fucking nuts." And it's like, ah, fair point.
Yeah.
There are probably like there's probably like a group of people that like I don't know bought their Tesla like 12 years ago or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
They just wanted like kind of like a medium fancy electric vehicle,
Yeah.
and
The
that's
only time I've been in
that.
a Tesla was, I don't know if it's like this where you are, but it feels like 50% of the Uber drivers around here have Teslas. And so the first time I got into a Tesla and I saw that giant screen, I was like, how the fuck does that work? And the guy driving it was like, it's complicated. Like, it looks complicated. I just want to get in my car and fucking drive. Like, I have a display screen in my car, but it's not like this, and it doesn't need to be like that.
Yeah, the people yearn for knobs.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not gonna
The last car I owned was a fucking Geo Prism.
Prism, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that bitch was all knobs.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a knob? You know? Knobs make the world go around. Yeah, the vehicle I currently have, I shredded a tire on Monday, so not a great week. Yeah, not a great week for motor vehicles, but you know, four new tires later, and yeah, 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 yeah. Oh well. Well, it's been a beer video, two of them.
Two of them.
Two of them.
I would try to advise you on how to splice those together, but I don't know how to do that
I
shit.
don't either. I might try to do some mild research later to see if I can figure it out. But if there's two of these, which there almost certainly will be, it's because Brian's an idiot and doesn't know how to do this. That's why we don't edit because I can't. One day we'll have people. One day we'll have staff. All right. Anything cool we want to end on?
Um, so huge turnout for the hands off rally.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about and didn't go to, but I was providing emotional support via jokes and gossip to my antitrust lawyer friend, who is playing a big part in dismantling the current system. Yeah, senior antitrust counsel for Keith Ellison. Yeah, I got
Oh.
him friends. I have one important friend.
Wow. Yeah. I will say something locally, because look, we shit on John Fetterman all the time on this show, proudly shit on him. And I think Giselle's not going to be far behind, by the way. But I think I need to walk something back. And I have to say that one of the people that has answered the bell locally is Connor Lamb. I'm as shocked as anybody else, but Connor Lamb has been front and center. He was at the rally yesterday. AOC apologized to him. I think maybe the last couple of years watching this, that he learned something.
Yeah, I mean, I would apologize to him, but I don't think some rando going, lol, what a dope on social media really affected him that much.
No, no, I don't either. But I'm saying like he's putting action behind it. Like he is
Yeah.
becoming one of the people that is actually speaking up and doing something. So I'll give him credit. And I'm not like absolving him of everything. Like I need to see more, you know? But I'll give him credit where it's due. He's showing up and it's about time, but at least you got there.
Yeah, him turning out to be better than Fetterman is,
A shock? Yeah, I'm hoping maybe he just realized that like, yeah, being the generic centrist is not going to get me anywhere. And um I'm hoping maybe his mentality was like, I played this way too safe and I can't do that in this environment. And so I hope, and like, look, he's doing the right thing right now. So I'll give him the credit and I will, but I'm gonna, we should all keep our eye on everybody because like you said, like we saw with Fetterman, you never know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's been beer videos, and we'll be back next week, hopefully with just one. Um, and maybe I'll have a new laptop. You
All
hear
right.
new laptop? Did you hear that? That is a threat. All right, all. See you next week.
Bye.